Hey guys, this is Rugby Queen. I'm going to talk about a very serious topic here. Um, this message, this video is for these fighters who say, "Oh, I'm not worried about brain damage. This is the fight game. I love this so much. I'm willing to die. I get it. It's your passion. You love the sport. But let me just, to the fighters out there who say that they're not worried about brain damage, let me just tell you something. You don't understand. You think you understand the long-term effects, but you don't. I'm a certified nursing assistant. I have dealt with a lot of patients with dementia. I've dealt with a lot of patients with dementia who are vegetables. Let me tell you something. Brain damage, it's no joke. I've taken care, like the shots that you take to your head, like, so what? You got a chin. But the shots that you take to your head, it wears on you. It damages your brain. Obviously, yes, it does damage your brain, but these fighters who say they're not worried about it, let me tell you, it's something to worry about. It's not good. That's why fighters like Valentina Shevchenko, that's why they fight cautiously. That's why they fight so defensive. Because they know the long-term effects. They fight, she fights, but she tries to take as less damage as possible. Some of these fighters, they just go in there. They don't care how much damage they take. But you should care. Because let me tell you something. You say you're not worried about brain damage. Well, let me tell you something. Are you going to worry about it when you're laying there, age 30-something, laying there in a nursing home bed, not able to move your arms and legs? Your mind's completely there, but you can't do nothing. Are you going to care about brain damage? Are you going to care when it's too late, when you're laying there like a vegetable? You can't move nothing. You can't talk. You can't move anything. You can't tell anybody if you have to go to the bathroom. You can't tell anybody if you're thirsty. You can't tell anybody that you've pissed and shit yourself. Is that when you're going to worry about brain damage? Because let me tell you something. These fighters that say they're not worried about brain damage, let me tell you something. I've taken care of patients who are complete vegetable. And let me tell you something. It is one of the most horrible things to watch. And I don't understand why some of these families don't pull the plug on these people. They keep them alive. For what? It's not worth it. I look at Donald Cerrone, man. He says he's not worried about brain damage. You can't even understand half the shit the man says in an interview anymore. He says he's not worried about brain damage. I mean, he should worry. What happens? He turns into a vegetable. He's gonna lay there on a nursing home bed. He'll be able to lay there in that nursing home bed, unable to move, unable to talk, be brain dead. Lay there. Look at his wife in the eyes. Look at his baby son in the eyes. He'll lay there like a vegetable. And that's when it's too late. To all you fighters out there, I respect what you do. I respect what you do. I completely understand that you are going out there, you're putting your life on the line. I get it. I completely get it. But put your health first. Really think about it. Do you really want to lay in a bed like a vegetable, unable to move your arms and legs. You can hear everything, you can see everything, but you can't talk, you can't move. You're a complete vegetable. Think about that. It's, and people, when they see these fights, they see a knockout and they're cheering and everything, it's like, oh, that was an awesome knockout, but they don't see the man laying on the floor. They don't see the woman laying on the floor. They don't see that man going home to his wife and family, his kids. They don't see that woman going home to her husband and her child. You should care about brain damage. These fighters should care about brain damage. Because at the end of the day, you got a family to go home to. You got to think about that. Train yourself. And I'm not saying it's possible. I'm not saying you're not going to get hit in the face. But move your head. Defend yourself as much as possible in these fights. Don't just go in there and take a bunch of hits. It's not good. It's not good for your brain. I know that's easier said than done. I'm not saying don't fight, but damn it, when you fight, protect yourself as much as you can. Don't take so many punches. And I know it's not always possible, but do the best you can. That's why look at Valentina Shevchenko. Almost every single fight, she leaves without a scratch on her face. She leaves without a scratch on her face. These fighters, they have no idea. They say they don't care about brain damage, but they do not know the long-term effects of brain damage. You're talking about early stages of dementia. You could have your watch 1 second. 1 second later, you forget where it is. And then 5 seconds later, all of a sudden, you remember where it is. Do you really want to go through that? It's scary. It's scary. Last year when I got my concussion from a rugby tournament, let me tell you something, I was dazed. I was there, but I was so dazed. His trainers were asking me questions. They asked me what day it was. I couldn't answer right away. I remember not being able to answer them right away. I knew. It was I know what day it is. Why can't I get it out of my mouth? It wasn't until maybe 10, 15 seconds later, I said July 21st. It's Saturday. It took me, I knew what day it was, but for some reason, it took me a while to remember. Guys, these fighters, let me tell you, that is what you face. That's your future. That's going to be constant. When you take damage like that to the head, it's going to affect you long term. You're looking at early dementia. This is not a joke. I'm not a fighter, okay? I'm not I don't know what it's like being in an octagon, but I can at least speak about brain damage and what the long-term effects. You should care about brain damage. You should worry about brain damage. When you go into every fight, do the best you can to protect yourself. Try not to take so many punches. I don't care if you got a chin. I don't care if you can take a punch. Just because you can take a punch doesn't mean you're not going to get brain damage. You can get brain damage. Take it seriously. Because, let me just tell you something. You say you're not worried about it. But let me tell you something. You're going to worry when you're laying there. When you wake up and you realize you can't talk. You can't move nothing. You can't move an arm. You can't move a finger. You're going to care when you're laying there, not able to do a damn thing, and you're looking at your wife and kids, or you're looking at your husband and your kids. And when you're in that situation and it's too late, it's too late. Because you weren't worried about brain damage. I'm done.